Hi guys, happy Thursday. We are here for religion, and I know yesterday you worked on some stuff about the story of, what did we do yesterday? We did the story of the poor widow's gift after Palm Sunday, after Jesus arrived into the city of Jerusalem. And today what we're going to talk about is the day of Holy Thursday. Now, Holy Thursday will be next Thursday, and during Holy Week. And Holy Thursday, a lot of special things happen. And it is, I know you were talking to mom and dads about the Last Supper. And on Holy Thursday is when Jesus and his disciples have the Last Supper. So I'm going to read to you two different stories in the Bible about what happens on Holy Thursday. So the first is an excerpt from John in the Bible, and it's about washing the disciples' feet. Jesus and his disciples gathered together for a special Passover meal. Jesus knew he would be leaving them soon. That's the image. After supper, Jesus removed his outer clothing. He wrapped a towel around his waist. Then he filled a bowl with water. Jesus washed and dried the disciples' feet, one by one. Then it was Peter's turn. He said to Jesus, "Lord, you should never wash my feet." Jesus answered, "I must wash your feet for you to be part of my kingdom." Then he said to them all, "As I have washed your feet, you must wash each other's feet." By doing this, Jesus showed his friends how to love and serve each other. Jesus' disciples, when this was happening, had originally said, we should get a servant to wash our feet. Our feet are so dirty. We've been walking through all of this sand and this dirt, and our feet are really dirty. And Jesus said, you do not need a servant. I can do it. And what he's doing by saying that is saying that he is no better than anybody else, right? To always remind each other, to take care of each other. It doesn't matter who they are, right? If someone's older than you, if someone's younger than you, if someone's rich, if someone's poor, doesn't matter who they are. You should always help your neighbor. Jesus told them, one of you will turn against me tonight. His disciples were shocked and said, we would never do that. Who will turn against you? John asked. The one I give this piece of bread to, said Jesus. And he handed it to Judas and said, do what you must. And Judas quickly left. So Jesus knew. He knew something was going on, and he knew that the Roman and the leaders in the city of Jerusalem, that they didn't like that so many people were following Jesus, that so many people were listening to him, even because he wasn't a ruler, because they weren't listening to the rulers and the people that were in charge. So after Judas leaves, Jesus does something else. And this is when they're having the Last Supper. Then Jesus did something else. He picked up a loaf of bread and he blessed it. He broke it into pieces. He gave the bread to his disciples to eat. Jesus said, this bread is my body. Every time you do this, think of me. Now, when Jesus is saying this, is he saying that he's really bread? No. What he's saying is that Jesus, the way he's teaching you to love one another, the way he's teaching you to support one another, is the same, that you need that just as much as your body needs food, right? That you need love, that you need support, that you need to be kind to one another, just the same way that you need bread. In the same way, he took a cup of wine and blessed it. He gave it to the disciples to drink. This is my blood. It is poured out to forgive the sins of many. And again, is that drink really Jesus' blood? No, it's a symbol of his blood to remind us, because he knows that he's going to die. And he's saying, every time that you have this, think of me and think of my death and think of my blood, and that you have all these wonderful gifts in your life. because I sacrificed myself. The time has come for me to go away. Where I am going, you cannot go yet. I am going to heaven to prepare a wonderful new home for you, but I will return to you soon. At first, you will be very sad, but do not be frightened. Soon you will understand, and you will be filled with joy. So, if you see this page where Jesus and his disciples are celebrating the Last Supper, this is a very wonderful moment. This is the last time Jesus is really with his disciples and where he's in a teachable moment, right? Where he's teaching them that this is my bread, this is my body, and this is what we do every time we're in Mass, right? Next year when you guys are in 2nd grade, you're going to do this. You're going to get your first Holy Communion. And this is one of the most important parts of the Mass, right? We go to the Mass and we hear the words to feed our mind and feed our heart. And we also, the second part of the Mass is when we go and we feed our body and we nourish our body with the bread of Jesus, with the wine, right? With his blood, with bread and body. And we remind ourselves that Jesus helps us nourish our minds. He helps us nourish our words and our hearts to always keep the teachings that he taught us, right? To always love one another. To not be afraid to do something as easy as washing someone else's feet, right? To always put the needs of others before our own. And that's what Lent is all about. And that's what Jesus wants us to always feel. So, I gave moms and dads a craft, and it's a craft of the Last Supper. It's Jesus and his disciples. The directions are all in the packet for you, and when you're done, it will look for something very similar very similar to this, where Jesus and his disciples are around a table, sharing the bread and the body of Christ, and the wine, the blood of Christ. So I hope you enjoyed. I will see you tomorrow for another religion lesson. I know today was a wacky day, a backwards day, so I wore my backwards hat. And if you have anything backwards on, I'd love for you to share pictures with me. I miss you guys, and I'll talk to you soon.